Hello, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Katie and this is my channel, Something by Katie. And today I'm going to be finally ranking my 10 newest eyeshadow palettes. So if you want to hear my top picks, you know what to do, just keep watching. But in the meantime, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Hit the thumbs down if you don't like it. I want to know either way. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you're notified every time that I upload a new video. Enjoy. All right. So, hi again. It's been a minute. I've been meaning to film this video for a couple of weeks, genuinely, but indecisive Libra that I am, I genuinely couldn't decide how to rank these palettes. I am generally not like a participation trophy type of person, but I really would give all of these palettes the #1 spot if I could. But I can't, so I had to put on my ruthless hat and I made the choices. I'm gonna rank them. So these are the 10 newest palettes that I have purchased, and here we go. Coming in at number 10, and again, keep in mind, I really like all of these palettes. I didn't have any misses at all when I was trying eyeshadow palettes the past month, which is a blessing and a curse, because this is fully going to enable that little makeup goblin in the back of my head that's like, but what if this new eyeshadow palette is unlike anything you've ever bought before? I've had that experience where I've genuinely tried new makeup this past couple of months and I'm like, wow, chef's kiss magnifique. Anyway, I'll get into that. But coming in at number 10 is my Glamlight Chocolate Donut palette. Now, I did a whole video on this palette, giving you my first impressions. I've since used it a couple of times and it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. You can just tell it's a pretty brown, warm tone leaning eyeshadow palette. That is a really pretty, like, shifty color. Anyway, it's gorgeous. It's just not my preference. So it's at the bottom of the list. It's beautiful though, and this highlighter is really pretty. So if you have been wanting to try Glamlight, but you don't want to get a rainbow palette, this is a great get. It's the same typical Glamlight formula. It's just browns and oranges. So yeah, for me, coming in at the bottom, but it's still a high quality palette and I love it. Number 9 is my Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette. Again, I absolutely love this formula. I think it's really pretty. This is a very convenient palette to travel with. I have been going back and forth between Chicago and my parents' house in Indiana quite a bit lately, so this has been one of the things that I will take. Not that I'm like wearing a lot of makeup when I'm there, but I always pack makeup, even if I don't end up wearing it, but I always pack this, and I really like it. It's just that I like some of the other palettes a lot more. This is really good, and I'm ranking it higher than that chocolate donut palette because I really like this colorful corner here. They're really pretty. I like this palette, but still coming in at number 9. I'm really happy to have this. I will say I got engaged in October. So now when I look at eyeshadow palettes, I'm like looking at it through bride lens, if you know what I mean. I'm like, could I wear that to my wedding? And this is one of those palettes that I see a lot of potential in it. Even though it didn't rank like at the top of the list, it does rank more towards the high end of like my palettes I'm considering for my wedding. So I'm probably gonna do a series of videos related to that, but we'll see. Number 8 is another Glamlight palette, and that is the Pie palette. I really like this palette. It is so pretty. It's definitely, I wanted to rank it higher because I love this blush shade, and I definitely use this blush shade more than that highlighter shade in the chocolate donut palette. And this palette's much more colorful, and as you can see, I've just used it a lot more. I really, really enjoy this palette. So if the color story speaks to you, again, same amazing glam light formula that I personally have come to absolutely adore. I really like this palette. I think it's cute too. And whereas the chocolate donut palette is more just like bronzy brown colors, this has more color options. So I really like it, and I highly recommend this palette if you are interested in the color story. Coming in at number 7 is my Artist Couture and Club Daddy palette. This is the collab palette between Static John and Angel from Artist Couture, also known on social media as Mac Daddy. I love this palette. I intended to film a multiple looks one palette with this palette because I personally think that this would be a good one for it because there's a lot of range in this eyeshadow palette. I did post a first impressions on my channel, and I've filmed one other look with it. I just never ended up actually posting that video because of, you know, life happened the past few months. But my point being, I really, really like this color arrangement. I think it's super versatile. It's really, really easy to work with. Like, look at this color layout. There's a mid-tone dusty pink, a bright metallic pink, and then a darker magenta. There's a mid-tone matte blue, and then a blue shimmer, matte purple, purple shimmer, pink, pink. Like, it just, everything goes. It's very easy to, like, if you want to do a blue look, you know, to use that matte, that shimmer, and then maybe a little of the black or the purple look or whatever. Whatever you feel like. This is a really good, like, going out palette. I think it's a club palette, and it certainly feels that way. My whole point in saying that is that I still want to film multiple looks using this palette. I'm thinking about filming like more of a brand review about Artist Couture because I purchased some other Artist Couture items and on sale recently, and I just really love this brand, and I don't feel like it gets a ton of hype on YouTube. So I kind of want to hype this brand up, but I really like this palette. I didn't see a ton of people talking about it on YouTube, but if you got it, do you feel the same way I do? I just haven't seen anybody talking about it, but I might film with it again, but we'll see. All of that being said, I really like this palette. I really like Artist Couture's eyeshadow quality, and I'm so happy that I got this palette and that it's in my collection. And I definitely see myself using it in the future. That is for sure. Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning, like, I've been thinking about these for weeks, and I keep going back and forth. Like, it feels weird to me to rank this palette higher than these glam light palettes, but at the same time, I'm thinking about it, and I just, like, this is so, I just love this color story, and as you can see, like, I've used it quite a few times. I made the choice. This is a really good formula. I just think that the packaging too, I just really like this packaging. It's more sleek, but it's still very fun. I think they did a great job. So I'm ranking this palette at number 7. Number 6. I really debated, honestly, putting the Artist Couture palette or this one, like which order to put them in. But coming in at number 6 is my ColourPop and Raw Beauty Kristi at Forest Sight palette. Honestly, I'm surprised this palette is as low in the ranking as it is. I think that just goes to show how many amazing palettes I picked up in the past few months. These 10 palettes are so good that this one came at number 6. I love this eyeshadow palette. The color story is very me. I love playing with colors like these. I like that it's primarily a matte palette and there are a couple of shimmers, but overall, this is a great palette. But when I take a step back and look at all 10 of the palettes in comparison to the eyeshadow palettes in my inventory, like in my collection, and this palette is just very similar to the first pure collaboration that Christy had last year. I just think this color story is very similar to that, so it ranks a little bit lower just because it's not the most unique color story to my collection. But I love ColourPop quality and I love this. It's really good, don't get me wrong. And the packaging is so cute. I love it. Coming in at number 5. Now this is a ColourPop, it's another ColourPop palette. I'm pretty surprised I ranked it above the Raw Beauty Christy one. This is a palette that I was not planning to purchase it when I saw it was announced. This was a palette that I purchased it completely impulsively. It was like on sale or something. I don't really remember, but I bought it, and it is the Fade into Hue palette from ColourPop. This palette's so good. First of all, it's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. I love this palette. Every single look I've created with it so far is really, really pretty. I'm wearing the blue, this blue glitter shade as a topper. I'm also wearing the yellow glitter on the lower lash line. It is so good. I love this palette. I used it in my Valentine's Day video, and then another get ready with me on my 1 year YouTube anniversary. That video I played with it, and then I've played with it a few more times, and I have it on my eyes right now, and I've just been so shocked by the quality of this. Like, I have a lot of ColourPop eyeshadow palettes, and this is a superior quality eyeshadow palette from them. I like all the glitters, which normally I don't like the pressed glitters so much from ColourPop. But these are very good. I like that this palette has a lot of different textures. There are shimmer eyeshadows, there are pressed glitters, there are like sequin shades that are matte, that have glitter in the matte shadow. There are pastel shades, there are like rich, true, like these are pretty true rainbow colors down at the bottom. And then I just think this is a really well done, well executed rainbow palette. In the last ranking my newest palettes video, I got the e.l.f. and J. Kissa collab palette, and when I originally got that palette, I said, don't get this e.l.f. palette because I bet ColourPop has a better rainbow palette. And then they came out with this, and it's like so much better. The quality is so good. This is a great palette. I recommend it if it's still available and you have a need for some pastel shades and rainbow colors. I really like playing with this palette, and I think it is a very, very, very good bang for your buck because it's not very expensive and you get 30 eyeshadows. It's a great, great palette. Okay, we're getting near the top. And here is probably one of the most surprising palettes, first of all, that I got, and second of all, that it's so high in the ranking. But okay, so in the next couple of weeks, I'll start filming more. I'll hopefully start filming videos more consistently again. But just being honest, I've really been going through it mentally the past little while. I've been struggling with my mental health, and I'm trying to take time to focus on me. And even though my YouTube channel and creating YouTube videos is certainly a form of self-care for me, it's had to be pushed down on my priority list lately. But anyway, I was having a bad day a couple of weeks ago, and my fiance Blake and one of my best friends Miranda kind of conspired on the side, and Blake stopped by Ulta, and first of all he picked up that Maybelline Sky High mascara that's been out of stock everywhere. He found it at an Ulta, and while he was there he bought me an eyeshadow palette, and I truly would not have bought this on my own. I'm so glad Blake picked this out with the help from my friend Mur, and it is the new Tarte Juicy palette. I love this palette. It's number 4. I just had a rainbow palette at number 5. Like, what? This palette's so good. First of all, I love the packaging. It's a little dirty already, sorry, but so it goes. I love the dandelion details. That means a lot to me. I'll share that at some other point. But anyway, the color story is so pretty. This color story is so pretty. It's not only a rose toned palette, and it's not just a bronze palette, it's a rosy bronze palette. It's so good. It's so good. And, okay, I love the top 2 rows the most. I love this shade so much. I love that shade so much. I love this shimmer shade. I love this taupey neutral shade. I love this. It's such a good palette, and the reason why I decided to rank this palette so high in the list is because I can do a full face of makeup with powder products anyway with this palette. Like, I can do my eyeshadow with it, of course, but I can set my under eyes with this. I can contour my face with this. I love using this shade as a blush. I love the pan sizes and then I can even use these 2 shades as highlighters on my face. This is a fabulous palette. The quality is, I love the quality of Tarte eyeshadows. It's weird. Last summer I got a Tarte palette, and I didn't feel this positively toward it. I actually ended up giving it to one of my good friends, and I'm really glad she has it because I was not using it. But this Tartelette palette, wow, I love it. And you know, Tarte's eyeshadows smell like vanilla chocolate, like so good. Anyway, it's really good. I love the rosy bronzy tones, and these tones are pretty unique, weirdly unique to my collection. And this, you know, I mentioned that Latte 2 palette might be in a couple of wedding makeup trial videos. I think this one will be too. And it's extra sweet because Blake, my fiance, bought this for me. And how'd he know? He's not a makeup guy. Anyway, I freaking love that palette, and it's so unexpected. I have not filmed any like videos with this. I've only posted a couple of looks like on my Instagram story using this palette, but I'll probably end up filming some videos with it because it is bomb. It's so good. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, the palette's so boring, but it's not boring. It's really not. It's so good. It's a really good palette. Okay, now we are at the top 3 eyeshadow palettes, and drum roll please. If you've been watching my channel the past few months and you've seen the ones I've already listed, I don't think you're gonna be surprised. And we're back. My phone died. That happens to me constantly. Anyway, so coming in at number 3 is the Meld Blueprint palette. Oh, it's so good. It's like one of the very high quality Meld palette formulas. I don't really have all that many blue eyeshadows in my collection, so for me, these 3 blue shimmer shades are pretty standout and very unique for me. This shade right here is stunning, and this royal blue shade, like in my last video ranking palettes, I included the Sigma Untamed palette, and that had a royal blue shimmer shade, and I didn't think it was very good. This one is what the other one wishes it could be. Oh, this is a great, good shades and just a great palette generally. Even these bronze shades are really pretty and I really enjoy them. So this is the bronze medal winner. Coming in at number 2, the silver medal is gonna go to the Another Melt Cosmetics palette, the Recently Deceased palette from the Beetlejuice collection, their holiday collection. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I will say a lot of people have been saying that they think that the top row, they have other melt shadows that are these colors. I personally don't have these colors from Melt Cosmetics, so I love this palette. I love the purples, I love the greens. It's so good. I know it's only 8 shades, but I find that I get a lot of variety. The only things I might change are these 2 shimmer shades. This one and that one are a little similar, but otherwise I don't find there are repeat shades here across my other melt palettes. Also, the theme of this is really what sets it over the top. I mean, that's not true. I guess the fact that the quality is really good and the theme is really just like, oh, it's so good. I love it. I love this palette. It's so good. And now, finally, the gold medal is going to the one, the only, the Club Nebula palette. No one's surprised to see this ranked at number 1. I'm not. I have posted on YouTube, I've posted 5 looks with this palette through a couple of different videos, and I've created even more looks with this palette. I love. This has all of my favorite qualities of the other palettes I've shown. All of those qualities like combine into this palette, and it's so good. I could write a whole love story to this palette because it's so good. I love the peachy tones and the reds and the purples and the blue and the green and the, oh, it's so good. I went into this palette with like, I don't know, I didn't really have any like very moderate expectations. I expected to like the Kaleidos makeup formula because most people do. Most people like the formula of this brand. So I wanted to try this because I like Angie a lot. I love following her and I wanted to support her, but more than anything, I was really interested in the color story. So I ordered it. I didn't have personally any issues ordering it. I set an alarm and I was able to get one, and I'm really happy that I got it. And I know it's a limited edition palette, but it blew me away the first time I tried it. The shimmer shades are phenomenal, but the deep, rich matte shadows, like, I really love working with Void, Cylon, and Red Giant, these 3 deepest shades. I really, really appreciate the depth that you can get from those shadows. It's so gorgeous. Every single one of these eyeshadow palettes that I just showed, all 10 of those could have been number 1s. They're all fabulous. Like, even, like, I genuinely, like, the palettes that are at the bottom of my list, these 2, the quality is right up there. Like, these are high quality eyeshadow palettes. Oh my gosh, I just got some really great eyeshadow palettes. And again, I said this at the beginning, like, it almost enables me to want to try even more makeup because, like, I have not tried an eyeshadow palette this amazing before. I really enjoyed, like, the duochrome shades. I enjoyed the depth, as I said multiple times. It's fun to work with. The packaging is gorgeous. There's just all around a lot of reason to love all of these eyeshadow palettes that I tried, but you genuinely can't go wrong with any of them. If one of the stories, the color stories, speaks to you, or it feels like the right price, or you want to support that company. A lot of what I've shared are from indie brands. But of course, I bought or I showed palettes from Tarte and ColourPop, so there are some bigger brands in there too. But I am just pretty happy with where my makeup collection is at, because aren't these some amazing palettes? Just saying. So, do you agree with my ranking? What do you think about my top 3 palettes? Do you think I should have put that Tarte Juicy palette in the top 3? I don't know. Comment down below. What do you think? Did you get any of these palettes? You know, talk to me down below. I want to talk. I want to hear what you've been trying, what you think of my ranking, and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so that you're notified the next time I upload a new video. And until next time, see ya!